Hi folks, welcome back to the Horde. So it's about 6:05. It is the 14th of June, Saturday, 22.0 degrees centigrade, 72 Fahrenheit. Nice breeze blowing outside, kind of a nice day. It's finally drying up a little bit. This one says somewhere around 70, 69, whatever. My batteries are not fully charged. So, a couple of things. Well, I got up early this morning and went to that flea market at the airport I told you guys about, and I still have to unload the truck from that. But when I got home, and I had my cousin's daughter just had his first grandchild, and she came in from Colorado, and she kind of came up to Connecticut, and it was kind of a meet and greet the baby type thing. So I'm going to tell you this while you're looking at the roof on the house. The roof on the house is also done. Let me tell you guys that too. So anyway, so a lot of my family had places in Connecticut. My grandmother had a place on the lake in Connecticut, and my cousins had a place on the lake in Connecticut. A little town called Goshen. It's outside of Torrington. Anyway, and particularly, I spent a couple of weeks up there the summer of 1975. It was just before my cousin Richie was killed in a car accident, and though he and my other cousins were working for my uncle, so I didn't see that much of them. But I was basically up there at my grandmother's place, and you guys could see the way over the sunroom is done and all. So we spent some time up there, and my grandmother wasn't at her place, so I kind of had her place to myself. And a couple of doors down from my cousins lived friends of theirs, another family, and there was a daughter there, Tracy. Well, obviously I didn't live in Connecticut, and shortly thereafter I ran off to college, and she ran off to become a travel agent. She got married, didn't have kids, but she married somebody who was difficult, and I guess the marriage didn't work out. So she was at this meet and greet for the he also did around the window here. So she was there, and I had not thought of the summer of 75 in quite a while, because you kind of have a life and you get busy. There's the roof with the flashing around, the chimneys and all. So it's all done. That black line right there, that's the wire that goes to the satellite. So the roof's all done. It looks good. Once again, he flashed all around the window there, so that's all good. So anyway, I had not thought of Tracy or the summer of 75, because once again, you get busy with life, and you know, college, and then the job and all that other stuff. So she's at the meet and greet, this Tracy young lady. So, I saw her and I recognized her, but she was kind of talking to some other folks and all. So I was, aware she was there, and I knew who she was, obviously. So she's talking to one of my other cousins, and as I got close, she goes, "Brains." And I looked at her, and I remembered during that summer, particularly. That's what my cousins were calling me, because I always, according to them, I always had a deal cooking. I guess some things don't change. So I'm like, hey Tracy, how are you? So we're talking and all that, and it was kind of cool. She remembered much more about the summer than I did. Once again, it was a little earlier in her life. She's a couple years younger than me. So, where right after that, I got busy. I went to my senior year of high school, and I broke my leg and had trouble with that, and all the drama of dating girls your senior year of high school, and then off to college, and 5 years away at college. So where she kind of stayed in the hometown and did the hometown type things, and I guess the summer was much more for her to remember. So it was cool. We reminisced about the summer and all that other stuff. So the reason why I'm telling this story is because the ultimate flashback was when she was leaving. She comes up to me, and she had this way of holding my hand back then. And I didn't think about it until she grabbed my hand and held it the same way. So I looked at my hand, the way she was holding my hand, and I looked up at her, and she kissed me on the mouth. I mean, we weren't French kissing in front of everyone, but she kissed me on the mouth. And it was so strange. It was like I went back that almost 40 years in one split second, because her kisses tasted exactly the same as they did back then, and no girl's kisses tasted like her kisses. So it was so strange, something I had not thought of in all those years came flashing back. The way she grabbed my hand and the way she kissed me, I'm like, oh my God. It was like such a flashback to back then. It was like, wow. So anyway, I gave her a hug, and goodbye, and hopefully I'll see you soon, and it won't be at a funeral. Hopefully it'll be at a baptism or confirmation or something else, some other good family thing, rather than a sad family thing. But it was just so weird to have the flashback back to 1975. So anyway, my roof is done. And how much roof was it? The room over the garage, that little room there, well, not that little, is 24 by 24, so that roof is a little bigger than 24 by 24. The back sunroom, wait a minute, oops, too far back. That's kind of behind those trees right there. The back sunroom is 13 by 13, and the main house is 30 by 50. So Chuck peeled off all the roof. He put down Typar. I guess they use Typar now instead of tar paper. So he used Typar or Typex or whatever, that plastic foamy crap. So that went down. Obviously, the stuff that you seal the ends of the eaves guard, or I always call it gutter guard. He replaced all the edge strip. Once again, peel, removal, carted away, all the roofing materials, everything was $11,000, which that's a lot of work and a lot of roofing. He did it himself. He didn't hire any labor. If I had to guess, it was probably about $5,000 or $6,000 worth of materials, which leaves $5,000 or $6,000 worth of profit. And if he worked on it constantly, I'd say it was about 6 days work, maybe 7. So he made pretty good money. His employment has been kind of on and off So I was kind of glad I was able to help him out, giving him this roof job, because when you're not working, the wife has a tendency to get cranky, and his wife was starting to get there. So anyway, I don't know, what should this video be called? The summer of 76 or 75? Or should it be called the roof job, or the roof job of 75? I don't know. But it was just so weird to flash all the way back to then. And one brief moment, it was like so strange. Thoughts, a person that I hadn't thought about in years and years and years, and summer that I really didn't think of all that much. Especially my relationship with my cousins kind of changed. I'm not going to say died, but changed after their brother, my cousin Richie, was killed in a car accident. He was on his way to school, and he was riding with a buddy of theirs, and they were in a Volkswagen Bug, an old one, early 60s. And they were driving that thing for all it was worth. They were on a kind of a little farm road, and they were kind of screwing around behind the bus, zigzagging behind the bus. And I think their plan was to ultimately pass the bus. But whatever they were doing, or whatever screwing around they were doing, they lost control of the car. It seems that they hooked a shoulder a little too tight and hit a culvert that was tight on the shoulder, which they think, according to what I heard, I was a kid, popped one of the back tires, and the car went around and flipped onto its side and slid into the woods and hit a tree roof first. And my cousin Richie died of head trauma. He died of basically a brain hemorrhage, his brain swelling that eventually killed him. His brain was gone. He was on a respirator for a short period of time, but when they pulled the plug, it was over for him. He had no brain activity. The driver of the car died of the steering wheel broke, and the seat, the way the car crumbled, the steering wheel was embedded in the seat, and he didn't get out of the way. He wasn't thrown out of the way. So he and the steering wheel and the seat all became one, and he died. There was one person who managed to live, and as the car was doing its flippy rolling, whatever it was doing, the kid in the passenger seat fell out and basically walked away, like, I think barely scratched. He was at the wake and funeral. I remember seeing him there. I didn't speak to him. Once again, I was pretty grief-stricken about losing my cousin. But he appeared to be fine. As a matter of fact, he was kind of fooling around. So emotionally, he didn't even seem to be all that upset that his brother and my cousin were killed. So, yeah, that was a tough time. I guess that was the fall of 75, October of 75, that my cousin died. So anyway, it's just weird to go back to then. You know, I've been kind of living in post then with my cousins, but you know, she kind of reminded us all what it was like of pre then, when we were happy-go-lucky and on the lake and motor skiing with Dave, and I was running around with my grandmother's. She had a rowboat with a little 5.5 horse Evinrude on the back, and we would ride around in that and look for this little cove where I found out what her kisses tasted like. So long ago. It's amazing. The years go by very quickly, my friends. Make sure that you enjoy each and every one of them, because, one day you'll be old like me telling stupid stories about 1975, except you'll be telling them about, 2015. Folks, live, love, and have a great time. Remember, enjoy your days, because for all of us, they're numbered. Keep your feet down, keep your head up, and we'll catch you on the next episode of The Horde. Thanks to all my subscribers, my new ones, my old ones, the ones that stayed with me. Thanks to all the friends of The Horde. You know who you are out there, so it's great to have some friends. And we'll catch you on the next episode, which will be shortly. I got to unload the truck. Bye now.